This is exactly the type of official political rhetoric that gets the gang members and gets the people into the streets. It makes the constituents feel justified that their actions to attack immigration enforcement and attack police officers, attack others in the city is within their rights. This is a representative here telling the people of Charlotte, North Carolina to please be ready. You are under siege.
Charlotte, our community is under siege. ICE and Border Patrol are roaming this community, profiling people, picking people up. It does not matter who you are. You can be an immigrant, you can be legal, illegal, or U.S. citizen. They're picking.
Now listen to just what is the outright lie part of that. Border Patrol and immigration enforcement right now, as of today, is not just picking people up without some sort of criminality or a high degree of suspicion of criminality. They are, of course, searching and seizing without the right, which is a very tricky gray area of our constitutional rights as citizens in this country. But they are not just picking you up and taking you to jail, whether you're a citizen or not. But at the beginning, she says,
Charlotte, our community is under siege.
And when you say things like that, when you say we are being attacked, we are under siege, there is an attack happening. That's what gives the people the right in their own mind to take up arms. So very scary times there.
This is what brings us here today. To thrive in the Arctic, we need icebreakers. But if we're going to get those icebreakers that we need to secure our supply chains, and we need to invest in bringing our manufacturing back here home to our American shores. And that's why ICE Pact is such a big deal.
Now they're talking about ICE Pact, which is a reindustrialization of the military-industrial complex that they are doing under the disguise that we are going to need to thrive in the Arctic. Now you tell me, if you're not talking about the military, do we really need to be in the Arctic? Absolutely not. So what they're doing is they are just painting over the pig a little bit. They're letting us believe that they are reindustrializing and bringing manufacturing back home just for the sanctity of the USA, when in fact what they're doing is getting ready for World War III. I, for one, think they should just tell the American people, we're about to go to war. We need to be building our own ships, our own ammo. We need to be building our own chips. We need to have more oil than we have. I think the American people would back them on this, but instead they're lying to you once again.
There's aggressively into the SNAP benefit people are barking at me because I suggested they don't buy junk food with their cards. Listen, I pay taxes, which goes towards SNAP. I have the right to suggest. You know, the N in SNAP stands for nutrition. It's not an acronym that stands for shoving nut.
Job openings have decreased 32% since the debut of ChatGPT. This may be correlation, but it's more likely causation. Companies right now are looking at how they can figure out a way not to need you. So they're not opening up jobs.
Is that pretty good?
Mr. President, why wait for Congress to release the Epstein files? Why not just do it now?
You know, it's not the question that I mind, it's your attitude. I think you are a terrible reporter. It's the way you ask these questions. You start off with a man who's highly respected, asking him a horrible, insubordinate, and just a terrible question. And you could even ask that same exact question nicely. You're all psyched up. Somebody psychs you over at ABC, you're a terrible reporter. You're a terrible person and a terrible reporter.
So Donald Trump's telling this reporter, you're a terrible person and a terrible reporter. He says when you come in and you're 90% negative, and then the entire administration continues to train wreck the left side of politics, that all you're trying to do is instigate trouble.
I threw him out of my club many years ago because I thought he was a sick pervert. But I guess I turned out to be right. But you know who does have? Bill Clinton, Larry Summers, who ran Harvard, was with him every single night, every single weekend. They lived together. They went to his island many times. I never did. Andrew Weissman, I hear. All these guys were friends of his. You don't even talk about those people.
It's obvious that media wants to keep a tight control on who exactly hung out with that perv.
But New York City, I plan on being in New York City in the near future. We're going to do operations in New York City. We know in New York City, me and Mayor Adams at one point had an agreement to let ICE into Rikers Island so we can arrest the public safety threats and the safety and security of that facility. But the city council shut it down. So we're going to be coming to New York City. We're already there now. I mean, teams are there now. But we will increase the enforcement presence in New York City, again, because they're a sanctuary city, and we know we have an issue.
Now, Mondami, the new New York City mayor, when I show you what he had to say, let me tell you, it's going to turn your frigging stomach. Listen to this.
You said you would arrest Benjamin Netanyahu based on the 2024 International Court Arrest Warrant. Next UN General Assembly, as mayor, would you do that?
So I've said time and again.
It's this part right here. This should throw your entire guts out of your stomach because it's Mondami right now, a mayor that was elected under the disguise, under a complete lie of what he would offer to the people. He will institute a push for social change based on religious ideologies. And listen to what he has to say about the superseding of the United States government laws, federal laws and state laws. Listen to what he has to say.
That I believe this is a city of international law, and being a city of international law means looking to uphold international law, and that means upholding the warrants from the International Criminal Court, whether they're for Benjamin Netanyahu or Vladimir Putin. I think that that's critically important to showcase our values, and unlike Donald Trump, I'm someone who looks to exist within the confines of the laws that we have.
Listen to that BS. He wants to exist within the confines of the laws that we have, but he believes that the city he was elected to be mayor of exists under international law. That's a complete breaking of exactly what he has to say, and that's the proof that you need when someone lies. When they can't keep their lies together, you know that everything they have to say is a lie. The ECB, that's the European Central Bank, has told some banks that they must begin preparing for major disruptions that will completely upend the financial system. A new reality is hitting, according to the ECB. We're looking at trade wars, tariff problems, cyber attacks, geopolitical tensions, aging populations, technological changes. They're saying the banking system is done for. They want to keep enough cash reserves on hand as a cushion. They say banks must begin to update their systems and stay vigilant. Right now, banks are doing fine. They're profitable and financially healthy, according to the ECB. But that's all about to change. I've been actually watching out for videos like this, and I've told you to look out for them. This is a person who was impeding, according to local reports, they were impeding federalized officials from immigration enforcement. And by impeding, what I mean is they were going around whistling and honking their horn and warning people who were here doing criminal activities that the cops were coming. Now watch what happens.
He's breaking the window. He's got an assault rifle pointed at her.
Oh my God.
I love how the people who are watching this are in such disbelief that the person driving this vehicle effed around and now they're effing out. So they effed around, they're finding out exactly that there is some sort of reaction to their actions.
Put the windows down! Put the windows down!
Now, this officer, if we're looking at this tactically, could definitely find a better way to break a window than shoving what looks to be the muzzle of a force multiplier into the glass. They all should have tools to break glass on their person as part of their everyday carry or EDC kits. This is really crazy. Imagine dressing for the day in sweatpants and your UGG slippers, going out to warn the local criminals about ICE enforcement, not thinking that today might be the day that you get put into jail, and this is the picture that you're going to have taken. I think that we have too long lived in a country where people can act without believing that they are under the rule of law. Folks, the rule of law is definitely changing quick, and I don't think it's changing for the better. I believe we're about to see a lot more heavy enforcement out there, and I'm going to do my best to bring you that information so you don't have to doom scroll. Make sure you check back at 2 p.m. this afternoon for more breaking news and headlines from America and around the world. But until then, from my family to yours, stay safe. Please click the hype button down below and leave a comment for everybody. Keep watch, everyone.